Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Facebook Live. It is Wednesday, July 10th, year 2024. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me get y'all introduced to the panel. If you're new, if you're already watched the Facebook Live, I'm sure you're familiar with the people that are here on the panel today. We have Patricia, who is part of our core group of meditators. Good evening, Patricia. Then we have Sharon here, who has been joining us during group meditation as well as on the panel, and Sri Lakshmi is online. I'm going to take a minute, Patricia and Sharon, and check and make sure that the live stream is streaming to our Facebook group. Just 1 second. Okay, it looks good. Summer joined as well online. Good to see you, Summer. I am going to pull up the question. I know April is not able to join us today. I was hoping that Kelly and Kelly would join. Somebody asked, how would you rephrase FOMO without an ego aspect? I try to word my feelings about me alone and leave outside factors be. Get to the few basic emotions we can have. I struggle with all the things I long for and can't do currently due to my circumstances. I guess E.T. would tell me not to long, not want, not miss, but be content in the moment. I'd still like some words for my feelings when I long for impossible things in the now. Sometimes the right words help me feel what I'm feeling. My friend is hiking in the mountains and she's home with, she or he is at home with chronic illness. Like, what does Anthony Williams say on Mattress Island, probably, right? So you want to take it, Patricia?
That was a very vulnerable place that question came from self-realization. But are you able to type it or maybe read it again? Because my AC actually came on for a second and I didn't hear parts of it. So I just want to make sure that.
Sure. Just 1 second. What I did is I moved it from my phone to this Facebook. So let me put it into the chat. Can you see it now?
Okay, let me go. It's a long question, so.
How would you rephrase FOMO, which is the fear of missing out without an ego aspect? I try to word my feelings about me alone and leave outside factors be. Get to the few basic emotions we can have. I struggle with all the things I long for and can't do currently due to my circumstances. I guess E.T. would tell me to not long.
I do, yeah, probably, yes, Eckhart, that would be removing the story. But in the beginning, that's the natural tendency to trying to figure out from the story perspective, why are we feeling this way? What caused the feelings? But it's not a bad thing, I don't think, to feel the feelings, but maybe trying to attach the story and sharing it necessarily maybe with that narrative. Maybe that's where we get back to ego. So sitting in silence and just feeling physical sensations, that would be something that Kelly would be talking about. That everything first, maybe not as much feelings as just physical sensation when something comes up. I mean, I've been trying to do that. Physical sensation. When where in my body I'm feeling it, instead of just trying to go back in the story, who said what, what happened and stuff. First, really feel the sensation, because the body is always at the present moment. So that's the, like Eckhart says, that's one of the portals to be present, by feeling your body. And if emotion or feelings comes, that's, the body, it's somewhere in the body. Can be a pain, like check of your body. Is it in, like, my knee is hurting, or my head is heavy, or maybe it's like a heat in my stomach. Concentrating on that, and as a first step. And I think just by doing it, by giving it some attention, many times it subsides, or you actually get a message, from, it's like this sixth sense comes in, the intuition, and it will tell you what it is. It's not necessarily the story. It's just something that will comes up in the present moment. But I'm not sure what's the fear of missing out, how that attaches to expressing and feelings. Missing out on what? Do you understand that question, Poonam, about?
Fear of missing out is something like somebody is so wanting to like they're such a extrovert that they love parties and like they love gatherings, right? Like if somebody like Oprah, I'll give you an example. Oprah says this about her best friend Gail, that Gail is always in this fear of missing out because she wants to be at the Oscars. She wants to be at the Tonys. Like they want to be in the big parties, and that is the fear of missing out.
So the life, in other words, life is happening without them somewhere else.
No, something exciting is happening.
Right.
If I go attend, their thing is that if I go attend this event, right? Like like the Oscars, then that means I'm participating. I'm not missing out. If they were to stay home and sit in their pajamas, they would think that, oh, why did I not go to the Oscars? If they had a chance to.
Thank you. So the way you explain it, there is no way of rephrasing that without ego. Ego is the fear of missing out, right?
Right.
Basically, if you have that fear, it comes from ego. Because if you're aligned, you know that where you are is where where you're supposed to be. I mean, it's still okay to plan and maybe wanting to do something, but if it doesn't happen, that's the way it's supposed to be, kind of. What is it telling you? So if I have a fear of missing out, what does it tell me? That I'm not full and complete. I'm not, the ego is trying to make up for something by being everywhere. And like its value, your value is less because you don't participate. Your being doesn't have, any purpose because you're not there. So just sitting at home and maybe reading a book or making something to eat is not good enough. You need to be engaged with big events. Yeah, so that's what I see. It's ego everywhere.
Let me see what Lyme disease is. Let me see her disease or his
Yeah,
disease.
Lyme disease, it's I mean, according to Anthony William, it is viral or something. It's believed that it's being transmuted by tick bites, but Anthony Williams doesn't think it's coming from ticks. The ticks carry pathogens that people blame for Lyme disease, but it's it has to be something, it has something to do with, but it is a very tough one on the immune system.
I'm trying to look in Louise L. Hay's book if there's something on it.
What's the spiritual meaning? I have a book like right here, so hold on, let me grab it too.
Okay, perfect.
Actually, no, she doesn't have it. I don't see it. She has lymph problems
Yeah,
and
and she has lupus, but she does not have Lyme disease.
yeah.
We can look at immune.
Yeah, probably it does have, because it affects some kind of virus that really lowers.
Sorry, guys. We're trying to find some answers.
What does it mean, right? Autoimmune system, autoimmune. No, it doesn't have.
She doesn't have anything. She doesn't have anything on Lyme disease.
No.
Okay.
What's the? It's overall probably just a disease that, you know, stops you from participating a lot, like what you said, being on Mattress Island. So it affects the entire system for
I
a
know
long
it,
time.
I know it is an autoimmune condition, so they cannot go out. They are
Very weak. They feel very, very weak. My my brother's dog, when he, you know, got tick bite, he almost passed. He almost died. So it's very strong antibiotics, and really, you know, it's a tough one to overcome. It's a very strong virus. But so I'm very sorry that yeah, the Lyme disease. So I understand now that the fear of missing out, that instead of being hiking with the friend, you're missing out because you're homesick. But in a sense, you know, that was meant to be. So your body needs some time for you to focus on your body. You know, so there is a message there. Obviously, we all would love to feel great and just have our physical bodies. I've been struggling with low energy. And yes, there was a fear of, like you said, fear of missing out, maybe because I didn't have energy. Like I don't have energy to do everything I want to do. So I'm almost stopping myself from wanting anything because I don't want to feel like, you know, I'm not serving any purpose, just resting or being low key, not going out. But many times when I did go out, I actually felt worse because I was not, as a young person, couldn't really drink a lot. I didn't want to do stupid, dangerous things that put me into danger. So I didn't even find activities that, you know, attracting to me anymore. So many times I would just decide to stay home rather than go out and just, you know, hang out. So, but, you know, some people really love to create and participate and have that physical activity. And hiking is awesome. I know I like to hike, but there are days when I just don't feel good or it's too hot or something, and it's okay not to go hiking. So find something, I think, even with the Lyme disease and even being home, just finding something that connects you to your soul, and then it's never gonna be missing out. Because like Poonam told me, when in my life it felt like everything is being taken away from me, my relationship, my job, even like my health was, you know, it was all together. It's like, well, you have that opportunity to really meditate and know thyself and connect and integrate stuff. So this is a message from universe, source, God, to put your attention back inwards, because you don't have exterior conditions to keep you occupied, to keep you active. It actually, your body's telling you, lie down, be alone, and go inward. Because physical, I remember Kelly was, you know, saying that it's never about the physical. Physical body is telling it's a message about something going on energy level, energetically. So that needs to be addressed. And the only person that can do it is you. Nobody can feel for you. Nobody can go inside and almost ask your body, why? What do I need to look at that, you know? And yeah, you're right. Lyme disease like attacks the entire system. So there is something with the entire body. So that's my answer.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you, Patricia. Grateful for the input. So the fear of missing out, I try to word my feelings about me alone and leave outside factors be. Get to the few basic conditions we can have. So the moment I try to word my feelings about me alone, the moment we say I am alone, I know I've told Patricia several times, the moment we say I'm alone, we are, that in itself is a very egoic statement, right? Then we are saying I am me and there's the rest of the world and this is me alone, right? Instead of like, this is why the meditations help. This is why connecting with our inner body helps, because then we begin to experience this oneness, this knowingness that we are never alone. There is always like the universe, our inner being is always with us. Along with our inner being, our guides are always with us. They're always guiding us, right? We are never alone. So the word itself, I try to word my feelings about me alone in that, you know, we were watching Eckhart talk. Was it on Sunday, Patricia? He was saying, as part of the conscious manifestation course, he was saying, be very careful about what you speak, right? Be careful about the choices of words that we use. That's a vibration in the universe.
It's almost
right?
like casting a spell, right? That's what.
Right. Who's that? The book that we were reading, Don Miguel Ruiz, he always says we are doing black magic on ourselves by
Right.
saying I'm alone, right?
Right.
And I am like a true believer. Like I've written a book about limiting beliefs. I've studied limiting beliefs to such an extent that I am very careful about what words I use, how I phrase it, how I say things to others, right? Because that's casting a spell on them, right?
Yes.
And then I struggle with all the things I long for. So what is this longing? Again, in that statement, I'm saying I have a sense of lack and incompleteness, and I'm longing for there's something in the external world that will give me fulfillment, right?
That without it, yeah, I'm not whole. Yes. I need something from the exterior. In the
Can be-
meantime, we don't. We really don't.
Right. And so I would say chapter 10 of The Power of Now, everybody needs to read chapter 10 of The Power of Now, which is the meaning of surrender, like about 100 times, so that like the surrender is in your blood, like accept what is. The words that Eckhart uses is the inevitability of the present moment. So know the inevitability of the present moment. In this moment, if I have so-and-so disease, then that is inevitable, right? That is what is. So now what am I going to do? So what I would do is I would do all the research in the world to find out what kind of fixes, what kind of solutions are available to actually heal myself from that. As Patricia pointed out, medical medium Anthony William has like this whole cleansing protocol on Lyme disease, right? Any
Yep.
chronic illness, like please, I would strongly recommend that anybody suffering from any kind of chronic illness, please look up Anthony William, medical medium, so that at the level of matter to matter, you can, he has a book, Cleanse to Heal. He wrote a couple of new books, Brain Saver Protocol and Brain Saver. And in each book, the same kind of, there's a supplement protocol as well as there's a cleansing protocol. The moment you start cleansing, a lot of these chronic illnesses go away. Along with that, I would say this E state is because, again, back to the energy, right? Like we should have like 8-meter wide energy field, torus field around us. But we shrink it with our thinking and believing. We are so in anxiety, in fear, in anger. That's why I was trying to look, what does Louisa Hay say? Because she kind of maps out what exact emotion. So that emotion is what is causing the disease. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, of course, there's Blessings of the Energy Center. So please look up Dr. Joe Dispenza's books and materials. There are so many people that have cured themselves of autoimmune conditions under Dr. Joe's work. So explore Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation so that you can raise your vibrational energy so that you are not on mattress island. So you can do both. At the level of matter to matter, you can start Anthony Williams's protocol and start cleansing yourself. But at the level of energy, you can do the
because apparently our bodies are miracles workers, and we have everything we need to heal ourselves within our bodies. So you just need to believe it and empower your body and giving it its space. And on the level of matter to matter, like you said, give the supplements, like help your immune, because what heals us, it's our immune systems. There is a wisdom in our bodies that we are born with. So body knows how to heal itself. We just need to get out of the way, basically. So
that's one thing. So yes, ET would tell you not too long. And then talking about hiking as part of Dr. Joe's work, not only do we do the meditations, but he says, don't dwell in the past, but be married with a vision of the future. So the vision of the future, what you would mental rehearsal that you would do is seeing yourself hiking in the mountains, or see yourself like look at old pictures of yourself and continuously work towards where you had walked and hiked. And
yes,
it's not so much he does not say vision boards. He does not like visualization. The word he does not like visualization nor vision boards. He calls it mental rehearsal. So do mental rehearsal. It's almost like character actor, like when people do the movies, don't they do like 5 or 6 takes? Like they practice, right? A drama, like it's a huge musical or something. How much do they do rehearsals? How much does an athlete, what Dr. Joe Dispenza said, how much does an athlete rehearse themselves, right? They say LeBron James and Michael Jordan, before they put that first shot, like we think, oh, he hit a 3-pointer, but they must have practiced 10,000 times before they put that perfect shot, right?
Yeah, it's
into the basket.
pretty incredible, because Dr. Joe in one of his talks was talking about that the placebo almost effect, or whatever he's saying, that, and also if you actually believe yourself in doing something, like people that never play the piano but keep imagining themselves playing the piano, and then you have people that are actually practicing playing the piano, you know, their skills are so close. So our minds is very powerful.
Thank you for that, Patricia. So those are the things that I would say is for anybody. And MJ joined us, and welcome, MJ. Good evening. And she's without an
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, because I was going to say it before we started. I have message from Caesar, because I texted him for his birthday on Facebook, and then week or something after, he answered thank you, and he said he misses us, he misses the group, and that he had some health issues, but he is really looking forward to coming back, and he'll be joining us back soon. So I was very excited to learn that. And so Caesar is with us in spirit.
Awesome. Thank you, Patricia. He did message us. So we have a chat for the live panel members, like Kelly, April, Caesar, and I are on a chat together. So he did message us and tell us the same thing. So looking forward to having Caesar back. So with that, I'll give it to Sharon. Sharon, you want to talk about, what are your thoughts on this? I think you're on mute, Sharon. We cannot hear you.
There we go. When you were speaking about being alone, that we're never alone, I agree wholeheartedly. They're guides, there are ancestors, whatever we happen personally to believe, but there's always things around you, other types of consciousness. And being alone, especially if you're suffering with a Lyme disease, which is very difficult, as Patricia said, I have known people who have had it. If you catch it early and they give you antibiotics, you won't get the serious symptoms. But if you don't know you have it and you go along and you start getting joint pains and they figure out it's Lyme disease, then it's kind of too late for it to do certain things. So I do feel very bad for anyone having it, but I also feel like there's a lot that you can do if you're alone. You can pick all the things that you wish you had time to do and try them out, the things that you're able to do. And I totally agree with Patricia and Poonam's theory and this is a proven scientific theory, when people go to practice basketball, and especially the big names like Michael Jordan, like you said, and LeBron, and those people, they go over it in their mind, not only their body, they go over it in their mind many times. And it's proven that going over things in your mind as if you're doing them, like practicing piano or practicing ballet or whatever it is, actually makes you more proficient at it. And that's how powerful our mind is. So I think all those things, bringing them together, that is the best answer. But if your fear of missing out has to do with fear of being alone, then that will be the first step, I believe, that you would have to take, is to deal with that fear of being alone, because you're not really alone. But you have, if you believe that, you have to work through it through meditation, or like you said, just Dr. Joe or Poonam may be able to, or Patricia may be able to put more information on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. I know Tammy joined us as well online. So welcome, Tammy. First time watching us on the Facebook Live. Anything else, Patricia? You have any questions?
No, I'm thinking that that's on our journey, spiritual journey. This is something I think we notice quite often, that all of a sudden, we are alone. And that moment when you see, it's like, are we really alone? And then you actually getting the answers that you're not. That you look around, you have the entire universe conspiring in your favor, whatever you wish. So as long as we're not stuck on ego and leaking the energy there, we are very powerful. And like Kelly was talking during one of their webinars, that each of our cells is more powerful, than it has more energy than the surface of the sun. It's crazy to imagine that. But just knowing how powerful we are, to put that attention towards healing, towards getting better, towards thinking of hiking, like imagine yourself, feeling it, feeling, the sensation, how the air, or even, the sweat going on your face, and looking at the beautiful trees around and the forest, or whenever you're hiking, start visualizing that mental rehearsal of how it's going to feel, and actually feel it the way you did it. It's like you're rehearsing your future, and then the body will take you there. So your healing will go so much faster.
I know we even do changing boxes, meditation. Dr. Joe now has a walking meditation on his website that is a changing boxes meditation, which we did during our advanced follow-up retreat in April. And just that visual of pulling the old self to the new self, right? Like you're pulling the body, like you're setting your mind to where you no longer have this Lyme disease, that you're healthy, like visualizing yourself being, and we are taking this disease. Anybody can be suffering from any kind of illness, right? But they need to visualize themselves. The key is the visualization, that we see ourselves. Like I know one of the testimonials that somebody did, this lady must have been like 60, 70 years old, and she had Parkinson's. She was in a wheelchair. And what she said is her daughter put like 6 feet high pictures of her, like old pictures of her, where she was camping, or she was in the woods, or she was in. So every day, having the Parkinson's, like along with doing Dr. Joe's meditations, she would go look at the pictures in that room, right? Over and over, mentally rehearsing herself,
Yeah.
saying that these are the, I mean, that holding her grandchild in her arms, and like what she said, like once she was healed of the Parkinson's, she exactly did that. Like she was going camping, and she held the grandchild in her arms. So it's that powerful. Like Dr. Joe's, when he had his injury, back injury, where he crushed like 4 or 5 vertebrae, he was saying all he would repeat to himself is, the power that made the body heals the body, the power that made the body heals the body, the power that made the body heals the body, right? And then he worked on reconstructing his vertebrae, and he self-healed. Like this is like the most powerful self-healing, self-repair,
Yeah, even
sophisticated.
talking to your body, loving your immune cells, just like close your eyes and lie down, and before you go to sleep, just like, I love you, heart, I love you, my immune cells, I know, you're working so hard on healing me, just like. And you realize that you are the whole universe for your body, like all the inside cells, you are God. So if you give it love, you know, it will, the energy, it will bring your energy vibration and gratitude. That's what that's Caesar's legacy. He always brought up gratitude
Gratitude.
and
Mhm.
just concentrate on what actually in that moment you're grateful for. You're still alive, you're breathing, you can look at the beautiful world around you. You know, it's like there's so many wonderful things that you can do still in that condition. Concentrate on what's working, like shift your focus, right, on what's actually working versus what's not.
Right. And I think even in the Power of Now, the other thing that Eckhart says is direct your attention inside your body, like feel like a luminous light flowing. And April, so many times when we do meditations with her, she says, flood your cells with white light, right? Francesca did meditation on Louise's healing. And she first walked us through filling every part of our body with white light before we sent uh, before we had that intention of healing Louise. So it was like a beautiful meditation. So Eckhart exactly says that, and Eckhart in this conscious manifestation course again talks about he was diagnosed with colon cancer last year or the year before, and he had to get some part of the colon removed. And he said that's all he did. Like the moment he had the diagnosis, he just sat, and he said he during this conscious manifestation course, he actually says, I gave myself self-radiation. It had no side effects. I gave myself radiation treatment. And he said all he did was like flood his body like with attention for hours together, hours and hours together. And he said it was so beautiful. But by the time he had the operation and then they did the checkup, he said it didn't metastasize. Is that what that it didn't go to any other portions of his body? Like normally, what happens with people with cancer? Yeah, you have cancer maybe in your throat or somewhere else, but then it'll go into your lungs or liver or somewhere else. It'll move around in your body, right? The cancer cells move around your body. So that was wonderful that Eckhart was able to. I mean, I would think that he did what Dr. Joe says, right? Like you have to sit in meditation and raise your vibrational frequency. Eckhart did it to himself. Eckhart does not use the exact words. He just said it's my.
But interestingly enough, now when you're talking about vibration and raising, I remember when Anthony William, medical medium, had the one of his life about immune cells and how viruses attack it, and he was even drawing on the boards that there's certain vibration, and if the immune cells are healthy and strong, they vibrate. So when the virus is trying to get in and attack it and take over, because that's what it can't, because, you know, it's just, so that's the vibration, that's the energy, you know, higher vibration. So we become pretty much, you know, indestructible because viruses are always in our bodies. Every one of us has millions of different viruses and bacteria, but we're not letting it, like, you know, protecting it with the energy. And good food has good energy too. Healing food, vegetables and fruits, when we eat different diet, they also have a different energy, you know. So
That leads me to a question, if I can ask it now, of Patricia and Poonam.
Sure.
When we talk about, you know, and I talk about it too, the raising of the vibration, or you don't want to lower it. And there's all these different levels of vibration in your dream state and so on, your consciousness. But how do we learn to recognize what vibrational rate we're at? Like if we knew it was, I'm just going to pick an arbitrary number. If we knew it was 49, that was a healing vibration, how would we know when we got to that as opposed to getting to a bad, is there a lower one might be bad for our illness, right? Could it be?
I don't know if there's something like bad or good. It's just lower and higher. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's the frequencies that
Right,
Dr.
my words were not
The
good. I have
way-
to
so the
remember what
way-
Poonam said.
So the way Dr. Joe explains it, Sharon, on the electromagnetic spectrum, right? You can look on Google for electromagnetic spectrum, and you will see that there is beta state, right? So when we are talking like this, we are right now in beta, right? And then he calls a high beta brain activity, which is when we are in the grip of fear, anxiety, depression, all those what so-called negative states, right? Frustration, anger, jealousy, all those states are high beta brain activity. Like we are stressed, right? We're gonna go, what can I do? We're going that way, right? So that's high beta brain activity. Then the beta state is when we are normally talking. Then the next state, when we still ourselves a little bit, is alpha. If he go further, like he has this way of doing meditation where he takes us into space, and he says there's blackness in front of you, blackness on the side of you, blackness behind you, and then he takes you into the blackness. So then our frequency, what happens is the frontal lobe, because it's sensing the blackness, it will quieten the analytical mind down. And because the analytical mind is quietened down, then we go into what is called gamma frequencies, which is the higher state. So it's actually on the electromagnetic spectrum if you all want to see. So you want
Yeah,
to
so
be
you can measure that, but
You can-
basically if you have that bliss, like you feel like your heart opens up, if you love, like if you feel love, that's higher frequency.
Yes,
That's
yes.
how you translate it to feelings. But love,
But how do you know
joy,
what
peace.
hurts it at? What level in numbers when they always say, well, do this meditation at 496? How do you know what those?
You can actually, yeah, you can actually probably feel it on the music, because they're showing
Okay,
on
that
the
makes
music,
sense.
the music that you can play with your meditation is
So
on
it's like those beats,
frequency. It's
more
like
of a frequency thing.
like let's say 500 hertz, megahertz or whatever. It's a certain frequency, and what happens, Dr. Joe also plays that during meditations, your brain naturally wants to synchronize with that vibration.
That
So you're
makes
kind of
sense.
helping, it's like a biohacking thing. You're helping physically go to the higher vibrations.
Yes. Okay, that helps me. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on that to understand it more, but I do feel it when it's happening. I just don't know exactly where I am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
he says that many times when during the affirmation, and then he scientifically goes through a certain ways when he talks, and music, he changes the music, he makes you take a breath, because breath always brings you in the present moment. That's where the power is, and connect with your breath and stuff like this. And at some point, people reaching like crazy amounts. He talks it, what is that word that he uses, that people are outside certain, so they're going so high, because this is the state when it's like hypnosis, that you can actually reprogram your subconscious mind
Yes.
on that level. You can do it from the lower vibrations, because apparently when we were children, up to the certain age, I think 7 or something, our brains, our subconscious is operating on that level of hypnosis. So we don't have a critical thinking yet active. So everything we perceive, it's being programmed, like hardwired.
Yes.
So then in order, when we are grown up and still reacting in that conditioning pattern, we don't even know it, because for us, it's the way we were all the time, always. So you don't even know that you're doing certain things. So that's why it's important to get into that state so you can reprogram the
Yes.
program that you're not even aware of, that it's running automatically.
Right. A program running in the background, just
think-
like the computer.
I think
Got
what
it.
you can, I think what you can do, Sharon, is buy. I mean, I don't do it, but you can buy like a Garmin device and like heart rate variability monitor, heart rate monitor, and check, because at the high rate you're almost like deadpan, like you're almost sleeping. Like your
Okay,
heart rate
gotcha.
should be so steady, right? That's the measurement that you, if you think that you want to do a measurement of, oh, am I at a high vibrational state? But as such, physical body itself, like I feel like even now, as I'm listening to both of you, I can feel like a vibration in my hands. Like
I can
feel it.
too.
I
Like
can
a
feel like
tingling.
I can feel the vibration in my body. And then when I go more still, then I can feel like an energy move, like from the base of my spine all the way to my like crown chakra, like all the way up. So
There
I
is
can feel the
also-
energy.
There's also, like, when you put the hands together, prayer, right, at the heart, and you touch right now by the heart, you feel your heart so strongly. And this is automatically bringing you to the present moment, because you can only feel beating heart, like heart is beating right
Yes,
now.
I've done that heart brain exercise that Dr. Joe talks about.
Yeah,
And
it's
feeling
so,
such a level of gratitude, and then trying to bring it to your brain, and your heart will be connected.
yeah,
That's a beautiful thing.
yeah,
Thank you,
because you
Patricia.
can do
And
anything
Bonan.
in the right state. I mean, I put a note that he put in one of his I think I saw it in the book, Becoming Supernatural, that we don't live in time. Time doesn't exist. It's a concept. So you can do anything you want if you're in the right energy. So that's
Yes,
why
I
what
believe.
we have tools that he provides to raise that vibration,
Yes.
frequency. And then you can
Yes, and that's what I want to do. I went to a meeting just that because a friend of mine invited me, and the people there, a couple of people were walking around, and they had bowls, and they were different types of singing bowls and different vibrational levels, and they were bringing them to certain people that because, and I didn't even know what was going on. It's my first time there with a friend. He said they were trying to help people with get their vibration, or if something, they were sick, but it was very interesting. And I think that's kind of the thing, is you get to know when you do these things enough, and you're in your meditations and you go to the levels, and you can, I know that I feel what's going on in my body in the meditations, that you do it through your experience more than like I need to know a fact about how I measure this, right? It's
So that's what
more of
Dr.
a,
Joe does. He's perfect for you then, because he gives scientific explanation on everything. But you're right, vibration is very important, because that's where energy frequencies go. So when you have music, I know that classical music is a certain vibration, like I think 480 something. When they tuning their instruments and stuff, there's a certain, so you can do
yes,
it. And like rock and roll or other kinds of music are much lower vibration. So, many times they're fun, but they also bring in like anger. They bring in, different kind of feeling. Classical music, a lot of people play it like in the background, and then your brain is naturally, synchronizing with that. So it's another biohacking. Yes.
yes. It's good to try all the things and find out what what fits for you. And I think everything that we work on gives us something. But I'm really for the meditation a couple times a day and going in. That's big for me too. And this group has helped me with it tremendously.
Yeah, and Poonam does 2 hours of meditations religiously every day, and
Wow, I only do like half an hour, and then later I'll do 20 minutes. Dr. Joe has on YouTube one that works on the pineal gland. And I love that. It's only 20 minutes, but it's incredibly, sometimes afterwards I'll just sit there for a while. So if you are interested, you can just look at it on YouTube, and it's not too long.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah.
Let's close this call. I know Nada joined us, so welcome, Nada. After a very long time, she showed up on the Facebook Live. Hello. And we meet again in 2 weeks. Actually, what I wanted to, I know I'll do it during the group meditation. What I was thinking was for group, and this is for anybody listening, if y'all are interested. So I I am very excited about the whole A New Earth reading. I love the way we are reading a new earth, because we go line by line, we read every paragraph, and each person, the little short discussion that we have after that, for that paragraph, like everyone has some insight that maybe we did not have before. So I'm thinking, let's do The Power of Now, A New Earth, and then do a discussion. Like during discussion, I feel we repeat a lot of what we are saying. So it's not that, and we've watched enough of Eckhart's videos that we already know his. So maybe what I'll do is after A New Earth, I'll do The Power of Now. Like the following week, we'll do The Power of Now, and then we'll have a discussion. And then we'll repeat again, A New Earth, The Power of Now, and then a discussion. I know 26th of July, I think I may not be able to do meditation, but one Friday I might miss. But then how about
so
that?
you mean instead of us listening to his talk and discussing it, we would just read his
The Power
book.
of Now. Do you have The Power of Now? Do you
Yes.
have The Power of Now?
I do.
Okay.
I always hold it. I have it right by me all the time.
Right, it has a life of its own, right, Sharon?
Right,
Okay.
it does.
Okay, so there's a sign.
Yep.
The universe already said that. Okay, so this week we'll do A New Earth, because I just listened to The Power of Now, and I was like, oh my God, it would be so amazing if because I had totally forgotten that he had gone into the inner body in such depth in The Power of Now. Like he has
I
a
just
whole
listened to
chapter.
it too. Yep.
He has a whole chapter dedicated to the inner body. So
And
let's
I love
read
the
it.
formula because it's a question answer formula
Right.
in The Power of Now. So that
Right.
makes it also very alive. This is a lot of time we ask the same question. That
Exactly. So public service announcement, if anybody is interested in The Power of Now, please join us every third Friday. So this Friday, tomorrow? No, I'm getting messed up. So tomorrow's Thursday, the after. So I really want Friday here. I'm so excited about it that I'm already living in Friday instead of living on the now. So this Friday it'll be A New Earth. Next Friday it will be The Power of Now, and then we'll watch Eckhart's video and do the normal group meditation discussion. So with that, many blessings. Thank you for choosing your divinity over your humanity. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Christina.
Thank you all.
And Sri Lakshmi was online. Christina was online. I think
Good.
Christina dropped, right? It's just Sri Lakshmi that's online with us.
Thank
Summer
you.
dropped us, but
Whoever-
soon.
Hi, Sri Lakshmi.
Yes, whoever
very grateful.
asked the question, thank you for the question. It was
Oh,
had a
it was-
lot of layers.
Most
Yes, it
Yes, it
definitely.
made me think deeper about that particular issue.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, see you
Have a wonderful
Friday.
week. Sounds good.